Hello and welcome to a sequel nobody asked for. My name's Justin, and I've got
Zack here on the line.
Zack
On the
on line
on the
one
cam.
on the hollow projector.
Yep.
We're going to be talking about Star Wars Ahsoka, the wrap up of the series. It did end a couple weeks ago, but we thought it's enough time for spoilers to get past, and
You can talk about it
we
freely now, right?
we can just talk about it freely, and just
Yeah.
because it was a good thing to talk about. If we're being honest, we both love Star Wars and hate Star Wars at the same time. Uh, it really depends on what it is.
If you're a
I know
fan, you have to have
nothing.
criticism. Yeah, that's fine.
I know nothing about his opinion regarding Ahsoka. He knows nothing about mine,
Yep,
which
you haven't said anything yet
I have
about
a
it.
feeling,
Yeah,
like most times, we'll start talking
we
about it and
agree.
be like, "Oh yeah, we agree,"
We agree on
but
things.
we're like hesitant at first, not being afraid of sharing our opinion, but being like, "Does he agree?" Like I still have that doubt. And then the second we start talking, I go, "Oh no." So why not get into it? We'll try to make this short for you viewers out there. Not incredibly short, but maybe we're going to try to be under 20 minutes. That's the goal, to be under 20. Hold us to it. If not, in the comments, yell at us.
Luck.
Also, tell us your favorite Star Wars movie and or show, because we want to know. And if enough people say a certain one, maybe we'll rate it or something. We'll see. Let's go ahead, start with the beginning of the show, or not even that, the trailer. What did you think when
I
even
don't
if
watch
you didn't
trailers.
see the trailer,
I
what were
saw
you
the
thinking
trailer.
the
I
show
think
was
I
going to
saw the
be?
trailer on just like football or something like that. Like it popped up. I was like, I know, like, you know how I am with trailers. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
want anything spoiled. If I can walk out of the room, close my eyes, do whatever I have to, not see it, I'm gonna do
It's like
that.
hide and seek. Like if
Yeah.
you're peeking, you're just ruining it
Yeah,
for
I don't want to.
yourself.
I don't
Like
want to
that's
ruin it.
not fun anymore. Then
So
you're
yeah, I did
playing a
my
game
best
of
to
just,
avoid it.
yeah.
But I saw, what did I see in the trailer? I saw Rosario Dawson
Was that
portraying.
a hype thing for you, or was that just okay, cool, makes sense? Did that get you
No,
hyped
I
up?
thought she like, but before she even did it, I was like, I tried to think of like her voice and like other work. And I'm
Mhm.
like, this could work. This could work. And she would have to be like super athletic. She'd just have to be athletic enough to twirl a lightsaber around. I'm like, she could probably do that. Probably take about a month of training, right?
That is one of my biggest gripes about
Huh.
action shows or movies, are
Huh.
taking actors that just aren't good at doing action things.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
main one
Like it just doesn't look
was,
natural. It's just like
yeah,
everything just looks like, oh,
it was the
not
main
fluid.
reason I didn't like, I wasn't a fan of The Walking Dead. It was because like all the melee characters that had specifically melee-based weapons in their personality, and like Michonne, or what was the other,
I
Morgan,
thought she
the
did
stick
fine. I
guy?
thought Michonne did like she did a lot of like
She was a great
swing
actress as
and
far
hold
as
pose,
like,
swing and hold pose. I'm like, okay,
no,
that's
I
that
hated that
works for
because
you.
you just hold the pose
I
in the
know
most
hold
awkward
pose,
way.
but that's it. Looks it's
Like,
photogenic or
not
whatever. Yeah,
taking away from their actual acting, because there's a reason they
Mhm.
got cast as acting in it. But as far as
Yeah,
the action goes, oh my god, I can't stand her when she's in an action role and she's like in a Marvel movie. Good for her, but
yeah,
like her herself, she is a good actress.
yeah.
So was the guy that played Morgan. So is Rosario. I can't talk today,
Rosario
but Miss
Dawson.
Dawson.
Yeah,
Um, she great actress. I personally not a fan of her lightsaber work. Unless she was doing the like CG twirly stuff
it's hard.
around where it was doing it
Let's
for
say you
her.
had zero lightsaber experience.
Yeah. Oh,
Now
I would be trash, but I'm also
you're
not.
tasked with having to do two.
That's what
That's
I mean.
difficult. Ooh,
That's like where I'm like, they should
yeah.
have found someone, or not had as many scenes, but then you're in an Ahsoka show where there's not a bunch of lightsaber fighting, so it's weird.
There's some.
As far as acting, she's like phenomenal, but like as far as the action scenes in this one,
Yeah,
she was not like the main
I could
focal
tell. I
point.
guess I could tell it was new to her,
Yeah,
but I wasn't mad because it was like she's a little older.
they only
Like
give
she's
her
not
so
supposed
much
to be
time
as
too.
not supposed to have like as much like lightning reflexes. I knew she wasn't going to be Darth Maul like like
No, you
whirlwind
can't
blades.
expect it. You can't
No,
expect it from everyone.
no.
I thought that was a good I mean, I have to pull up the cast list too. Ray
Cool.
Stevenson, I thought he had a
Yeah.
good like lightsaber style. It like
He was a
lent
knight. He was
to
a straight
it.
up medieval Knight, previously Jedi Knight, now reformed
It led
Sith. No big
to
deal.
like he could be kind of slow and conductive with his blows because it made sense with his stance and everything. That was awesome. Whereas like Ahsoka, she's supposed to
That's why
flow
when
more, so it's
if he
harder
looked
task.
slow, it fit his character.
Yes,
Like there was no like getting over that hump of like, oh, he looks like he's not experienced. It was like, no, that makes sense. He's supposed to have these big swing and miss kind of feels.
and imagine the shoes that you have to fill being the Ahsoka like live action star when you see her in the show just ripping shit apart brutally in an elegant way. Like she's just always tearing shit up, and I mean that in a good way. And to have to do that and portray that on screen, it's more to fill. And that was not like a highlight to the show. The lightsaber scenes were not the highlight. Some of them were awesome, and then some of them made me go like, what's going on? I don't understand.
I
like
had
the
to
first episode, I was like,
and go back and rewatch some of it because it was like some of it was so split quick lightsaber stuff. I was like, that's a lot of lights, a lot of stuff happened. Rewatch that.
That's what we were asking for as fans, though.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. Did we really want it? All the lightsaber stuff, or like, is that the best they can do, given the fact that it's a TV show, given the fact the time they have to film and what's the word? Prepare.
Yeah.
Just like if we want all these cool lightsaber thingies,
well,
what
all
are we
three
to
of the cast, like the good guys, Ahsoka, Sabine, and Ezra, like they all have reasons to be rusty. Like he hasn't picked up a lightsaber in years. Sabine is not talented with it. She's not even a Padawan.
Not even. She's literally just a force sensitive person.
Just kind of like, I guess I picked up a dark saber once. I guess I can try it again, sort of thing.
Which scared the heck out of me when she went to like duel anybody. I'm like, dude, she's gonna lose.
She did the thing that like even Luke Skywalker does, where like you're in the middle of a lightsaber fight and you're like, I'm losing my strength and my focus, and you just switch to your blaster instead. She did it. I was like, yep, that makes sense.
Oh,
even Ahsoka at one point, she said blasters. Like they're fighting together in a room. She's like, blasters. I was like, did that mean deflect the blasters? And she's like, no. Sabine thought, use mine. Okay.
Yep. Use my blaster.
I didn't know that was a tactic. It was like, and all else fails.
I think it was more so, hey, we know you're good with that. You're not ready for the lightsaber. Which I mean is smart. You want to play to your strengths when it's a life or death situation. If it was practicing, she'd make her actually use the lightsaber, but that's not the case. What do you feel about the setup of the show? Like
the setup of the show,
of the premise of it.
For me, the show wasn't Ahsoka. The show was bring Rebels. Ezra back, please. Yes, it was continue Rebels and bring Ezra back, please. We need him.
Yes,
he is very important. He is. He has gone through a lot. And he's like the last vestige of that era.
He's the last force bender, except there's a million.
Yeah, he's the last Jedi before the last Jedi. Yes, me. And then, so it wasn't her show. Like in my opinion, it wasn't like the Ahsoka show, her childhood and beyond. No, it was like you're here, bring the rebels in.
Oh yeah, if it would have been like half the show just her maybe, and then more rebel shit went on, I would have been like, okay, that's the Ahsoka show. But
the rebel show did include Ahsoka when they finally
100%
make contact with her.
But the same way, you know,
in the family. Yeah.
Episode 8 had Babu Frick. It wasn't called the Babu Frick movie. It should have been. Babu Frick Strikes Back would be the last movie. But no, all jokes aside, it definitely shouldn't have been called Ahsoka. I think that was like a name grabbing thing.
It was just a name thing. Yeah, you can call it that.
She was in the other seasons. Like she's been in other stuff. Like
she was in Mandalorian, but you can't call that Ahsoka. It's just Mandalorian. Ahsoka shows up. That's it. But that's what these kind of Disney shows do. They just go for like name dropping, shock and awe factor, and they're just like, all right, we brought them in.
I don't know. Bring Ezra back. Introduce Ezra back.
That was
What was
one.
the other
That was
thing?
number one. And they took their time. I feel like it was episode 5 or 6 out of 8. And we see him,
Yeah, and
wasn't it?
yeah, what episode did they get to the planet? Was it 4 or 5?
That's what it was. Well past it. I want to say it was like 5. Is
It felt
we,
like
we see the
well,
boy, we make contact.
this show did like time travel in real time because it made me feel like they got to the planet super fast and didn't get off the planet fast enough, but it also felt like it took forever for them to
Yeah.
get to the planet.
They were like,
And then
we have
also,
to get off this planet in 45 minutes. 3 episodes later.
I'm just like everything.
And Thrawn's like, we're gonna dip. We're gonna get out of here and we're gonna leave those suckers behind. And then it was just like 2 episodes later.
It always made me go like, why wasn't that thing longer? And then why was this thing so short just the entire time?
The timing of the show was terrible. Sorry.
Like,
put that out there.
it's another one where
Yeah.
I think if you cut
They
it
waited too
down
long.
into a movie, it might be better. Like, it might
Or
like
that.
boost it up a ton. You just cut out all the filler stuff, and it might
There's a
actually
lot.
be really good. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm not revealing what
Yeah, you could have took
I would
half
rate it out
the
of 10 or anything, but
episodes out. If there was 8
Oh, yeah.
episodes, you could have brought it down to 4 and kept the important things.
oh yeah, because
And got away with it.
as far as we've talked about the filler in a sense, nothing specific, but there was a lot of it. Really
Yeah.
quick, the ending of the show, or at least the last, I was gonna say last episode, but like you said, they introduced like the ending of the show in the last like 3 or 4 episodes. They're like, the world's gonna blow up or something, like for 3 episodes or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Or the ship's gonna leave, whatever
Yeah, so
the
it was
premise
really
was.
hard to track to get out there, and getting back to their normal galaxy is like a pain in the ass.
Mhm.
So it's just this one. You get this one chance to beam out, and Thrawn's like, "I'm going to take it. No one else is going to be. Everyone else is going to get stuck behind here again." Okay. So I don't know where to like. I'm jumping all
Yeah,
over
that's
the place.
fine. That's fine.
I kind of want to go back and say how they did people dirty though.
Okay.
That's been on my mind
no,
this whole show.
We can get into that. Get into it.
Okay, so Ahsoka, they kind of make her very mute. Like she's like barely says much. You don't get her personality in there at all.
Do you think that
But
makes
I get
sense?
she's like maybe
in
it makes
the
sense
sense
in the
that
fact that
matured?
she's matured up.
Or at least her story, whatever you
She's
want
not
to say.
overreacting to anything. Maybe that's a good way to
Because
go.
the last time we saw her, she was a kid, at least in the animated, and then obviously Mando,
Yeah.
we've seen her since.
Yeah,
but,
Mando in Rebels, you see her as an adult.
Like her quitting the Order, I could see it as her like becoming not a.
I don't blame her
character,
for
but
that
a
at all.
more
That was the
fearless.
moment I cried. I was like, damn
Oh,
it.
yeah?
The Jedi failed her. They tried to murder her.
Oh yeah.
And when they said, "Oh, we're sorry about that," of course she didn't say, "I'll accept you guys back." She was like, "You know what? I'm done with you." And I wasn't mad. I wasn't mad at her. I wasn't mad at Ahsoka. I was mad at the Jedi for literally putting like a hit on her.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
and it makes you sympathize with like Anakin more and everyone else that like, I don't know, all that episode 3 and bullshit, all the prequel stuff. But I agree that she's like too tame. There was never like a glimpse or glimmer of the old self.
Yeah.
Which I feel like you get that in other characters. Like even Obi-Wan, obviously it's a difference of him portraying the same character that he played in the older movies.
He's been him through and through.
He's been him.
He was able to bounce himself off of Alec McGuinness, but like that was it. You know?
Yeah, that's the thing is he gets that luxury, whereas like she doesn't necessarily get to do that.
She just
But
has to
there was
rewatch
no
cartoon. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if she did or not. I think she went like, "Oh,
Some
I get
people
these
don't.
weird
Like
things."
you heard the news about the one guy, what's his name?
I don't know.
I
probably heard it.
Not the brothers and sisters. I forget what they are.
The Inquisitors?
The Inquisitor. Yes, Mr.
Okay.
Grand Inquisitor himself.
Oh, he
did
never
not watch
watched
the show to understand his character, his voice, how to portray him. It was just he walked in, is like, put me in makeup, I'll act.
Make me look a little tubby too while you're at it.
Yeah, it was kind of. Remember my egghead? Bring that down.
Yeah. Bring it down. I want to be a little round egg, not a little pointy egg.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do what that guy did.
Yeah, when it comes to like Star Wars, that's so lore and canon intensive. You have to
That can
like
move me on to
rip
my
it up.
next point. The fact that some things did not have continuity. And
No,
Disney's been doing this for all these new shows.
like
Is
Hera.
like Hera. Like they have these things where in Rebels they have giant story arcs, like literally season-long arcs of going through maturing. And when you see them for the first time in live action, a lot of that's erased. Not all of like
Dude,
not
Ezra.
like I don't recognize
Ezra
this person,
feels
but most like yeah, Ezra feels like a dumb kid where he was supposed to be on a ship with Thrawn for
super
years,
matured.
super matured at this point, and damn near identical to Luke Skywalker, like at the end of Return of the Jedi. Like he's almost at that point after losing Kanan Jarrus and all that. I believe in him being like the next best Master Jedi. It's just they bring him down. Like, no, I'm an apprentice. I don't wield my lightsaber anymore. I choose love and life. Whatever.
It was a reason to just backtrack him a bit.
But that's the first time we're seeing him live action. So like they get this weird pass, or they just disregard a lot that's happened. Same thing with Cad Bane. Cad Bane was like, he was a Jedi hunter, yes, but he was kind of a nice guy at one point. And then you see him for the first time in live action, and it's just creepy alien.
Creepy alien.
Like, that's all you get. He's weird. One note.
I have a weird thing that I have a question for you. Sabine.
Yeah.
The first time her being in live action.
Yeah.
I found it weird that they like completely changed her hair. I understand people have gone through
hair grows.
Time and all that stuff, and like you change the hair color, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But it was like to see her for the first time, I just feel like they needed to do something more like this is obviously that character. Because when I first saw her, and not until you said anything, I was like, oh, that's Sabine. I just thought it was some random character that they're Disneyfying.
Yeah, because she's supposed to have that pixie haircut, that one little streak, and purple hair.
That's the thing is have one of those things. Have one of those, whether it's grown out with the same color, or it's the pixie cut and a different color now, which they ended up doing.
And then they're like, you know what? We kind of messed up there. Let's fix that.
Because it's like you have to.
Same thing with Ezra's eyes. The first time you see him, his eyes aren't blue, and then after that, they're like freaky blue.
Yeah. Yep. That's the other thing. It's like I understand it's going from a cartoon, but then to create the reality that we're gonna be in, it's like you just need a little bit more of the uncanniness of it being animated and shit. I don't know. Like no other characters in the show made me just go like, oh, that's weird. I can't tell that it's that person. Like I felt like they did a decent job.
The first episode you see Sabine, it doesn't really resonate.
It's like who is this character from The Descendants, which I don't even know if you know what that is. It's a Disney Channel movie.
Okay.
Where it's all the evil characters from the evil villains from all the movies. It's their kids. So it's like, of course, really bright colors, really bright hairs, dancing. Like she looked like she was from a Disney movie, in my opinion. Like Disney Channel original.
Disney Channel, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't even want to get into Sabine yet again. I don't think it was.
You just did, and yeah. The only thing I had to add was yet again another character done dirty because they had this giant arc of like, she lost her family in the show, and she had the Darksaber, and she just let it go and gave it to Bo-Katan, right? Like there's all this stuff that happened, and when you first see her, it's just like, I'm a little rebel kid. It's just like there's
you're a mature character. What are you talking about?
Yeah, she's mature at this point. She's like,
it's because the Rebel show had the arcs, and they like
the Rebel show had the arcs, and like I said, they're not,
and they finished that story
into it. They're like,
it's almost like
revert back, start it fresh. Like
it's literally almost like they made an entire show and finished the show and then brought it back when they weren't really planning on doing so. Like they had the finite story and they're like, boom, good cutoff, boom, good ending. That's why that show's so good. And then they just unraveled it. It's like wrapping up the perfect sandwich.
They could have continued what was already laid out in Rebels.
Oh, I agree too. But
you would have had a very darker show though. You would have had a show where like these people are like I don't know if we'll ever find Ezra. And Ezra was like, I don't know if I'll ever
Dude,
make it back.
Ezra,
Like,
yeah,
but there's
Ezra
just
was
always
so
like this
far
happy
away
hope of like, oh,
for
I'm gonna
so
get
long.
him. I don't care what the cost. If that means millions of people's lives, whatever, we'll get him.
Dude, the fact that he was like, "Hey guys," when he came back, I'm like, "What? You've been secluded with
You've
turtle
been
people?"
alone on a ship with a blue man.
Yeah. Do
For
not tell
years.
me like you are probably you'd be more disheveled, you'd be more
He had a beard.
unhappy.
The boy had a beard. That was kind of weird to me, but
I mean, but
man had a beard.
that makes more sense because it's like, oh, he's on a planet where he's but he also had turtle people that could have gave him a razor.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. It was strange.
that's
I don't
just Star
Thrawn
Wars being
was
Star Wars. So like, you're gonna have weird little like. Here's an excuse for creepy little creatures. Okay, let's do it.
Thrawn was weird in my opinion. Like he's supposed to be this like I saw a meme the other day.
He's supposed to
And
be a martial artist and a chess master at the same time. Like he's supposed to be
yes.
both. He was only the mental aspect.
And even that was
He did not look
a
like
little
he could fight
lackluster.
Ezra in hand-to-hand combat and
No.
kick his ass. He looked like he would be like, "Hey, knock that off, kid."
The meme was him in the extended universe, and it's got him playing like 3D chess, and then him
Yeah.
in the canon universe, the Disney canon universe, like books,
Yeah.
and then it's regular chess, and then it's him in the Rebels TV show, and then it's him
Yeah.
playing checkers, and then it's him in this show, and it's him
Yeah.
playing like tic-tac-toe.
Yeah.
It's just like obviously
Gets
you
nerfed
can't do
down
as much as
little
in a
by
book,
little. Yeah.
but like it just
So
seems like the
the
most
voice actor
diluted.
is good. Like he puts out that
Oh,
eerie
he's a
like
great
I'm a
voice
villain.
actor.
Yes, he's good at that. But he just does not emulate a guy who's like has full control of every situation.
It is so weird when they choose to do
Even though
voice
he is 3
actors.
chess moves ahead, even in the show, they're like, "Oh, look, he's thinking of that." I'm like, okay.
Because didn't they have another voice actor in this series? I think it was like the leader of one of the planets or towns. He was the voice actor in the Rebel show, and then in the live action, he was whatever the governing body was, like the
Didn't
ruler
know, but
of
okay.
whatever
I mean,
world.
it sounds right. They
But
they
they
put little
choose-
Easter eggs like that in there. They brought
I just don't
freaking
get
Jar
it.
Jar back as a Jedi, so they can
Yeah.
do it.
He's a Sith, but yeah.
He's the Sith. He does not
Um,
belong in those robes.
I just don't. Sorry.
Yeah.
They choose to keep some voice actors and make them in the live action roles, and then other ones they completely go, we'll recast that. And it just doesn't make sense to me sometimes on why they do it. Because, like, I liked him in Rebels. I did not like him in the live action. Like, it just did not. He did not portray the live action Thrawn that well, in my opinion.
Like I said, he's
Just
got
the
the voice.
stature. He's
Yeah,
got the voice.
he has the mental acuity, but like he just doesn't look like he could beat you in a
No.
jiu-jitsu tournament.
No, and when
he's
it comes,
supposed to. He's supposed to be like this super tall, like lean, freaking karate chopping looking guy, but
and it's
look at
acting. That's what
Yeah.
the point of the thing is. Like, you're acting as someone else, and it's a weird thing to harp on someone for, but it's like that is what your job is to be
Yeah.
looking like the role. So if
that's
someone
kinda
else got the
casting
role,
at that point, you know?
yeah, 100%. I don't think
So-
any of these things are the
Yeah.
choices of any of the actors in the show.
Yeah.
I don't think they're the ones at fault. I think it's more of writing room. I think it's all the like production side of things that made a lot of this weird. If you were to rate the show, I know we didn't touch on everything, but if you were to rate the
We
show,
really didn't. Like we just spitballed everywhere, but
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
actually
oh yeah,
map it out properly. Whatever. They didn't do it in the show either, so
damn it,
Oh,
the zingers. 1 through 10, 1 through 10.
Yeah.
Turtle men. That rhymed.
They're going too slow. All these shows are going so
Yes.
damn slow. The Obi-Wan show was like everything that I know they need to do this much. They need to do these 3 things.
Should have made it a movie. Should have made it a 1.5 hour.
At the pace that Obi-Wan's show is going to get these 3 things that need to happen done. Defend Luke, beat Darth Maul, commune with Yoda and his master. That's going to take like 3 seasons at the pace that they're at. It feels the same way with Ahsoka. It's just like at this rate of her, like we need to get Ezra back down to, or we need to get Ahsoka down to where Ezra and everyone is now. We have to have a fight between the new Jedi and Sith we just made.
Yes.
And it's going to take another season. And then you need, and then
they're
for
not
that,
even
you need to do another
Jedi
season beyond
or
that.
Sith.
Yeah, they're kind of.
They're like weird in-betweeners.
That weird in-betweener that happens to wield red sticks because they're selfish. Whatever.
Yes.
Yes. It's just the pacing is so bad.
Yeah.
And I feel like it just like with Marvel movies and now Star Wars, like they're too afraid to actually make good points and progress stories. They're just
they're milking it.
Milk it and just do a little bit at a time.
Are you excited? I know it's taking it off track a little bit. Are you excited at all for what they set up for? In your was it clear what they set up for?
I have to wait a year and several weeks to like see people fight sticks again. Like,
well, the whole like
Obi-Wan, I'm happy. Like they got it took them forever to get to the point of like they almost checked one box off, which was talk to Qui-Gon. It happened at the last 5 seconds.
Well,
I was kind of mad.
They tried to do it again, the whole Balin's skull thing where he gets to the mountainside and he's like, ooh, there's these statues. Oh, I'm going to be talking. Or it showed that he was...
it looked like he was just going to abandon his Padawan or apprentice. It just looked like I'm going to leave her to fend for herself. It just felt that way. I don't know if that's what's going to happen.
I don't know if his goal is to be the perfect thing or whatever, or be the evil son in the whole like triad thing of there's the father and then the
First Order's happening. So like that's going to happen. So if that's what was his main
I know, but the Force thing, the whole Force thing where there's the father and then there's the good and then the dark.
Oh, yeah.
That's what that was setting.
Was that in Rebels or was that in Clone Wars? That episode?
That was Clone Wars. That was Clone Wars, and he
there's like the grandpa-looking guy, the papa, the god, and then you had the good and evil, which was like a daughter and a son.
People are saying that the old god guy, that Skywalker is taking over for him because he was the perfect balance. Like he brought balance to the Force, like Anakin, and Balin's skull is wanting to meddle with that in some way, whether he wants to be the perfect in-betweener or he wants to be the dark so that there's balance, blah, blah, blah. And people are saying Ahsoka is going to be the new light side, but it's weird to me that people are saying that because...
She's only proven herself to be balanced.
Yes. Like she is just like Anakin in the sense
to a literal fault where she's like, I don't think I could train your little Yoda friend. Yeah. What? Why not? Because I'm
like
balanced. Okay, fine.
Level-headed, yeah.
And then that little thread that you just mentioned, that comes up in this show where it's just like, are you really balanced? It's just like, now when my friends are in danger, I guess I'm gonna be kind of mad and help them. You know,
it's I don't know. And then
that's an inner conflict that they did keep bringing up. I'm like, yay!
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, to have the gentleman die, Ray Stevenson.
Yep, R.I.P.
Especially when like it's set up for him to be like a pretty pivotal thing in the next season.
Where are you in the next season? Where are you gonna be? I don't know.
That hurts because he was my favorite character from this show.
Yeah, he was.
That he was like he got me hyped, and when
there was just little breadcrumbs of like, hey, I was a Jedi at one point. Hey, I'm doing this now, and like you're saying, he's doing like grand scale things he wants to do. You know.
And I liked his apprentice, Shin Hati. I'm looking up the name right now because I did not ever hear.
Who's that one guy that played Wolverine's brother? He could do it. Liv Schreiber. If he wanted to just fill his shoes, be like, yeah.
Okay. You're saying Sabretooth?
Sabretooth could.
I'd be okay with it. I know I asked you like 6 minutes ago, but 1 through 10 Turtle Men.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did not answer.
No, that's okay. We had a really good thing we needed to touch on.
Sorry. Had to. You first.
Okay. I'm gonna say I just want to say what happened when the show ended. I was like, the first word I said was seriously. I'm just like, it got me. I don't want to say hyped for anything. I was just like, this was blue balls if I've ever heard of it before, because it just like it was Star Wars blue balls for me,
Yeah,
and it's one of those things where
the
maybe it'll
pacing.
be great when the next one comes
If they would
out.
have did that at episode 6 and then did 7, 8, I would have been happy.
Yeah.
But they were like, let's milk it and do nothing for 2 more
Like
episodes.
they could have set up the next season even more, like started
Yeah.
actually getting into that storyline. Um, but no, I didn't give a shit about the undead stormtroopers. I was like, oh, that's cool for 2 seconds, and
Eh,
then you have to watch
that's something.
them. You have to watch them for the next half
You
hour
get back up.
hobble around and
Yeah,
just like
I'm a zombie. Like,
for the first two
but no,
seconds.
that
You're
is
like,
part of Star Wars. Like with the
yes, it is actual
with
lore.
the Dathomir, they have full control of zombies.
Oh, they.
Um,
Oh, you know what? Thank you for
huh,
that. Fan service. That was the term I was looking for because that's all
yeah,
specifically that thing, fan service, and like
yeah,
that's what the show felt like. And since it didn't really have any substance to me, it had some like it had things for me to get excited over, but not necessarily get hyped for. And that's very few things.
yeah,
One of them being Ray Stevenson, which unfortunately, yet again, isn't even going to matter in the next
yeah.
season.
Like you're not supposed to root for him, but at the same time, I'm
No,
rooting to know more
you're
about
still
this guy.
invested. You're still
Yeah,
invested.
in that, yeah.
And I'm going to have to go like a 2 out of 10 as far as
Well,
Star Wars content.
yeah. At the
Um,
end, when they just gave Sabine everything,
yeah,
force power wise, that was kind of. I was
weird.
like, what the fuck?
Weird.
I wasn't impressed. I wasn't like
Oh no,
she
it was supposed to
worked her
make you
way to
feel
that. It
impressed.
was like it was like a you need to
It,
do this or this show does not go on. Okay.
she
Force
didn't
power.
earn it in the
Yes.
writing sense.
Yeah.
And yet again, these are not things that the actors did. These are things that the writing and the cutting
Yeah.
room did and the pre-production and all that stuff. Like they forced a lot of this and like to make it be a show.
So now I have to be
But
like Sabine is force sensitive now. I guess that's cool. Whatever.
did they say it all at all in the show? Did it ever come up?
No. And the cool thing about
Bro, you can't show up
Rebels,
with different hair and be force sensitive.
yeah. In
Just
Rebels,
kidding.
like we got to see the thing, like the cool things that like when a person like a normal person wields a lightsaber, it feels heavy when you swing it. We got that aspect. If you wanted to dial in the length of the blade, you can dial the length of the blade. I'm like, wow, these are cool things to learn, and we're learning it through Sabine's eyes.
Oh yeah.
But she was never good. She was just a person wielding a stick. And now they're like, you know what? Give her force powers.
Yeah, if she would have
Feels
been
weird.
the
Feels
same the
weird.
whole time, I would have been like, okay, yeah, she just hasn't learned anything yet.
Yeah.
And I forget, someone made a comparison, not of her, but I don't know. I don't know. It's just the whole it's kind of like Ray was in the new movies where it was like it didn't feel earned for her.
Ray was Palpatine. The force to the evil dark side is easier, so makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know. What are you rating
What
it? Because we'll have to average it, obviously.
For me, so it was like a watch, like I was watching Mandalorian. Like I'm watching it to watch it.
Oh, I was
I
hyped
do
to
my
watch
thing.
the
I did
season.
my thing where I binged. You know, like I waited 6 weeks and then I watched. And
Because
then I had to
I remember
wait
talking to you
weeks to
about
watch
it, and you're like, "Should I
Yeah,
watch it?" And I was like,
yeah,
"I'm actually kind of invested in it." It was after like week 1 or 2, and I
yeah.
was like, "Ooh, I'm actually into this." And then I immediately was like, "Ooh, I shouldn't have said anything because what the fuck."
The pacing's so bad. So yeah, I think the actors did what they could. So there's at least a point there. I'm not gonna give it as low as a 2. For me, it's more like a 4 out of 10. As in, like, my interest is peaked. They let me down. I like the cast. I don't like some of the cast choices.
Yeah, but most of it was
Most of it's
pretty
good.
on.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Like the pacing's so slow. Just get on with it. Like in the cartoon, I know it's a cartoon, but like episode to episode, 30 minutes to 30 minutes was like a ton happened. An entire adventure happened, and it took 8 episodes to do one adventure.
Well, it was weird too because on the planet they were just nowhere near this fortress, and then they stormed the entire fortress in like a couple minutes. And I'm like, they could have spent a whole episode.
I don't want to
like,
go through plot holes right now.
I know, it just felt like they were just like in a barren
where they lie.
wasteland for so long. Like it was just like, why are you just in this open field? Couple structures here and there, just like nothing's going on. There's nothing to look at. There's nothing going on. We won't get into it. On that note, any closing statements for it? Because we then average a 3 out of 10 for Ahsoka.
Make Ezra mature again. He's a child.
Why does that sound like a
He's a man-child with a beard. Make him an adult who lived through sacrifices.
Are you okay with the casting?
I don't have a problem with him. He's cool.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with the casting. I think what his instructions were.
They act like we've never seen him before in an animated series. Like we're meeting Ezra for the first time. We're not. We've seen him. Stop acting like
people watching this have seen it. Or if they haven't seen it, they're not going to be turned off if he's a little more mature of a character. Like, I don't get that.
Yeah. I feel like they made that choice to make everyone not as dark and like mean as it's going. Like, it's going to get worse. The First Order is about to appear. It's going to get worse.
Oh, it's going to get worse. We are going to have to end it. Started from the top or bottom. Now we're here. What is it?
We started from the bottom. Now we're here. That sounds right.
Did you say bottom?